I made my dad choose between me and his new family. My father, 52 male, and I, 25 female, together with my 3-year-old spaniel, Moxie, reside in my mother's family home, which I inherited along with other assets when she died of cancer when I was 16. My father married his high school sweetheart while on a vacation with his pals a few months ago. They've apparently been in touch for over 2 years. I was taken aback, but that's his life, and if he's happy, I'm okay with it. They moved in a week after the little wedding, to which I wasn't even invited since I had no clue they were dating or that he was dating. She, my father's wife, whom we'll call Steph, 51, arrived with luggage, which included twin stepsisters, 20 female, Lizzie and Lexi, false names, as well as their 2 chihuahuas, Gucci and Hermes. They attend to a local state college and felt that living here instead of paying rent and other expenses would save them money. My father inquired whether it was all right, and he also mentioned that the home is large enough for us. 7 bedrooms, 8.5 baths, a basement, and a huge yard with a pool. I said yes to please my father, which was a terrible mistake. The first difficulty was the argument that I should move to a smaller room since my room has the second largest closet of any room in the home. She needed to keep all of her expensive bags, clothing, and other belongings. No, I said. I informed her it's been my room for as long as I can remember, and she's not going to make me move when it's my home. My father agreed with her that he would give her his half of the closet, while his belongings remained in the other room. Second, the twins have a propensity of barging into people's rooms without knocking, including my workplace, currently working from home due to COVID. Lexi came in once when I was in the midst of a business meeting, wearing a bikini and seeking for something. She actually strolled behind me, where she could be seen by everyone. I felt irritated and ashamed. Third, their dogs are not toilet trained and would leave feces and urine all over the home, and the twins would not even pick it up. They're also highly aggressive towards Moxie. I once discovered Moxie with a scratch on her left eye, which the other 2 dogs would generally nip at when given the opportunity. Fourth, without my permission, all of the family images in the home were taken and placed in the attic, including my grandparents, great-grandparents, mother's family photo, my infant pictures, and so on. I took my time returning them all to their proper places. This occurred many times. Steph did it again 2 days ago, but this time she replaced them with images of herself, the twins, and her family, among other things. Steph and I got into a heated debate over it. I informed her that she couldn't change the decor or anything else in my home without my permission, and that her girls should likewise learn how to knock on doors and have their dogs potty trained. She said they could do anything they wanted in her home, and that she would make up house rules that we would all obey since she thinks I'm such a wild beast doing whatever I want, and that I was not reared correctly because I had a horrible, worthless mother. To say I was enraged would be an understatement. I told her she could pack her belongings and her twins because I was throwing her out. She claimed that I had no authority to evict them from her home. I told her, and I'm paraphrasing, "You're living under my roof, lady. This is my residence. I acquired it from my mother, and you, your twins, and your dogs are now invading. Get out of here before I call the police." My father arrived home early that day after Steph informed him of what had occurred. I explained my side of the story to him. He said that they are still adjusting to their new surroundings and that the relocation here was challenging for them. I informed him about all of their problems, but he insisted that everything would be okay and that they should just give it some time. I informed him that I'd had it with all of their nonsense and that I'd had enough. Enough now. He was defending them more, siding with them. So I told him that he could either move in with them or remain until the end of the week. Did I make the proper decision here? Putting my father in a position where he has to choose between me and his new family. I genuinely gave them a chance, and I've had to put up with a lot of their nonsense over the last several months. What she said about my mother was the straw that broke the camel's back. She will never insult her in the home where she grew up and where I grew up. Update. On Saturday, I discussed the situation with my mother's prior lawyer, Amy, false name, and asked whether there was any possibility to challenge the will. She handed me the documentation, and my husband and I both signed an agreement. In brief, stating we agreed on what was given to us and would not fight it in the future. Mom takes the prize. She also urged them to allow themselves at least 30 days to locate a home and move out in order to prevent any legal issues. As a result, the inheritance problem has been resolved. I was meant to have supper with only my father on Saturday night. A private conversation between father and daughter seems to be a family matter. Steph and the twins were present. To cut to the chase and stop the agony, I mentioned that I had spoken with Amy about the home and other legal matters. I also said that they had 30 days to locate a new home to live and move out. Steph objected, but Dad silenced her by stating that we can repair the problem, that we can all go to family counseling, and that all we need is time to get to know one another. Expect my eyes to roll. I told him that it had been months since they had moved in and they had never attempted to be family until they needed something. I pressed my foot into the ground. Enough now, so I asked him whether he was leaving with them or remaining so I could know which things he was taking. He asked if I was throwing him out, to which I replied that I was not, that he is free to go anywhere he wants, but that he should not expect me to contact him if he chooses to go. Steph inquired as to why I was evicting him from his home. I informed her that I had inherited my home from my mother. She said that he informed her that I live with him, therefore I believe she assumed that I reside with my father at his home. They had a major misunderstanding. Lexi claimed that it would be difficult to relocate since they were nearing the end of the spring semester and exams were coming up in a few weeks. I merely smiled and told her she needed to hurry up and locate a place. After that, I departed. Yesterday, Easter Sunday, I invited my boyfriend and his family, as well as my 2 closest friends, over to celebrate. My father has been phoning me, but I haven't returned his calls. He attempted to ask me to join them for the day. As far as I'm concerned, my 2 best friends, my boyfriend and his family, are the only family I have right now. It was a fun Sunday. We went egg hunting, played a few games, and ate a large meal, which I hadn't done in a long time. I had a gut feeling. Anyway, I'm now writing up a list of everything in the home worth more than $500. I invited a few friends over to assist me photograph them. All of the locks have been replaced. I just gave my boyfriend a copy. Don't worry about my father questioning him about the key. He doesn't approve of him since he's middle class. I have hired specialists to build a security system around the home and land, and I have a meeting with someone about the fences and gate arranged. I haven't used the money my mother gave me to aid with tuition, housing, and other expenditures since I entered college, but this is an emergency and it calls for it. All of the family photos, portraits, and other mementos are presently in storage. All other little valuables are kept in a safety deposit box. All papers are now stored in my room in a water and fire-resistant safe that needs a key and pin to unlock. I'm attempting to follow all of the precautions and advice that you left in the comments area of my last article. Thank you very much for them. So, that's it for now. I'm not sure why Dad would rather be with them than with me, his own flesh and blood. I'll keep you updated if there's any new information or anything foolish occurs, but I've come to understand that for some unknown or incomprehensible reason, they're more important to him than I am. It's difficult since he's the only family I have left here, and I'm not very connected to his side of the family. So after they go, I will no longer communicate with them. He's an adult, and he can do whatever he wants with his life. Thank you for all of your encouragement and best wishes. Update. After considering my options, I asked a high school buddy who is a real estate agent to assist me in finding them a property nearby, around 15 minutes away. I assisted with the down payment only to get them started, so they didn't feel as if I didn't aid them, and so on. We had a lengthy talk about the subject with my father. He moved in with them, but we agreed to have supper every Sunday night, just the 2 of us, and to share any special events. I did inform him that he and his new family are not welcome in my home after his wife mistreated my mother. I don't know much about their background, and I don't want to find out, but as far as I know and remember, my mother was always friendly to everyone. She raised me to be that way, but I'm sure she'll be disappointed with me once they go well. He revised his will and included them, but I encouraged him not to tell anybody. I've been watching too many crime shows for months, and I'm simply keeping an eye out for him. He did say he was happy of my choices and that I'd grown up well and strong, and that my mother would be proud of me and what I'd done thus far in life. After that event, and after ensuring the house's security, etc., I went on a trip with my now fiancé to decompress and relax. The entire thing had a toll on my mental health, and it was difficult to return to normalcy. I was being my regular self. Also, no wedding bells are on the horizon. He's focused on his internship year in New York, where he hopes to pursue a career in medicine as a pediatrician. For those who are curious, he did sign a prenuptial agreement and was more than eager to sign it. Also, my mother's side of the family had a strong military/finance history, with a lot of investments and the like. I could have followed in their footsteps and joined the military, but my hand-eye coordination is terrible, so I work in finance instead. I strive not to rely on my family's money, and instead study how to create my own money via investments, stocks, and so on. I did take some time off to do some renovating around the home. If I want to pass it on, I need to keep it in good condition. That's all I've got. My father and I aren't quite back to our former ways, and I doubt we'll ever be, but we're, respectful about the issue. I've seen Steph and her girls around town a few times, but I never recognized them since they stole my father away from me. So, how can I terminate my prior thread? I'm not a big Redditor. Thank you everyone for your encouragement and best wishes. It's been difficult these last several months, but I'm getting by. Have a Merry Christmas and remain safe and well.